Our story for today, The Patience of Job. The house just down the street and around the corner is where Superbook was discovered by a little boy named Chris. Today he's discovering about the nature of things in nature.
These flowers really need watering.
Careful not to water them too much, Chris.
Right, Dad.
Christopher! Chris!
Oh?
What you doing there, Chris?
Watering the flowers. Oh. What's this?
Hello, Joy. Would you like some tea with us?
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Peeper.
Oh.
Christopher! You're ruining the flowers.
Gee whiz! It wasn't my fault.
We're glad you didn't get hurt, aren't we?
Well, I suppose.
Oh, boy, thanks, Mom. I love tea with cake.
Be careful now, it's hot. My best china, Christopher.
We're glad he didn't get hurt, right?
All right.
What a bummer.
Now what are you up to, young man?
Can't you be a little more quiet? Troubles always come in bunches.
Good. It's time for Superbook.
Everybody has good days and bad days, my little friend. But there was a man named Job who had more than his share of troubles.
Job? Is that a picture of him?
That's right. And there are 3 friends who came to see him when he was sick and his whole body was covered with sores.
We gonna meet him?
If you like, let my light guide you.
Gizmo, I wonder where Chris is.
Help! Get me down!
Look, Master, stuck up.
Help me down! I'm scared.
Oh, Chris, you climb bigger trees than that.
Well, at least I can get the lay of the land. Excuse me, do you happen to know a man named Job?
With 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels and 500 yoke of oxen, everyone knows Job.
Really?
That's so. So all these fields must belong to Job.
And all these people must work for him. And look how beautiful everything's growing. It's terrific.
All workers working like busy beavers.
Right. And they all seem to enjoy their work. See how happy they are.
Look, something's on fire.
Let's go see what it is.
Right.
And I thank thee, O Lord, for thy bounty which you have provided. And God, protect my sons and daughters, and help them to know your love even as I do. And may we show that love every day to everyone we meet.
I guess that's what's called a burnt offering.
Could you tell us what that man is doing?
Oh, he's doing what he does every morning. He's thanking God and asking for God's graces. In case you didn't know, that's Job.
Job?
Yes? Did you want me, children?
Could you help us?
We were looking for Job.
Look no further. You have found him. You must be strangers here. Why don't you come up to the house and we'll get acquainted?
Thank you.
Oh, look at all these goodies.
I hope you don't mind waiting a few minutes. Want to hear an amazing but true story?
Oh, yes, please.
We'd like that very much.
The reason I say it's an amazing story is because I wouldn't believe it myself if it hadn't happened to me. But go through it I had to, and I must say I learned a great deal.
About what?
About faith and patience, and mostly about myself. You see, I had always been one who loved God and shunned evil. It was for that reason that I was rewarded with great flocks and a yield of crops that more than met our needs. And children, I had 7 sons and 3 daughters. But while I was enjoying all this, and thanked God for it, something was happening in heaven.
It's a pleasure to be in your august presence.
And where have you come from, Satan?
From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And let me tell you, from what I've seen, you're waging a losing battle down there, God.
Have you considered my servant Job? There is none like him, a perfect and upright man.
Mm-hmm.
One who loves God, and all things good, and shuns evil.
At the risk of sounding impertinent, that's easy for you to say. But take away your blessings and he'll curse you to your face.
How can you say that?
Look at what you've done. You've blessed the work of his hands, and his substance has increased in the land.
What would you have me do?
Withdraw your blessings, and he will curse you. Take my word for it. After all, I am the prince of darkness.
I see you're challenging me. All right. All that he has is in your power, but only upon himself put not your hand.
That's all I need. We'll see who's right.
I'm sure we'll have another great harvest this year.
I hope. It's all because you all have worked so hard.
Master, there's terrible news to report.
What news?
There were many raiders who ravaged your fields.
What are you saying?
We were all working as usual. There was no thought that anything could go wrong when suddenly, out of the north... The Sabaeans have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and only I alone am escaped to tell you.
It is unbelievable. What is? Believe me, the fire of God has fallen from heaven and killed all your sheep and servants before they knew what was happening. And none but I am left to tell you. Thank you, my boy.
What a terrible wind. We must get to a safe place.
Help me! Oh, my sons and daughters are in my house. Help! Oh, my children, 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 oh, my children! In one day, I've lost everything.
Now we'll see.
Would you believe it? I lost everything, my family, my livestock, and my farm.
Oh, what a blow.
How could anyone possibly go on living?
What happened then, sir? How'd you manage?
Surely you must have blamed God for all that.
No, child. As a matter of fact, I prayed to the Lord. Naked came I into this world, and naked shall I depart. Everything that I had was given to me by God, and now he has taken it away. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
So he persists in his holy ways, does he? Well, we'll see.
Where do you come from, Satan?
From going to and fro on the earth.
And have you considered my servant Job? There is none like him.
I've considered him all right. And I say he's faithful only because his life's not been threatened. Put forth your hand and touch his bone and flesh, and he will curse you to your face.
So that's what you believe. Well, I disagree with you, and I'll prove it.
Yes?
I'll give him into your hands.
Very good.
You may do anything you want, but spare his life. Satan?
Yes?
Remember, anything except take his life.
Yes, sir.
Woe is me.
Job, what is... Oh, he's burning up with fever.
I've never seen so many boils on one person. Why, his whole body's covered with them, from the bottom of his feet to the top of his head. And every day it seems to get worse.
I don't see how you can go on living.
Then 3 of my friends heard of my tragedy and traveled from their homes to comfort and console me. Their names were Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar. I was so changed that they could scarcely recognize me, so they just sat with me silently for 7 days and nights, for they saw that my suffering was too great for words.
Why don't you speak, my friends? You just sit and grieve for me, and you have reason. Let the day perish wherein I was born. In my mother's womb I should have perished.
I'm surprised at you speaking against God that way. He knows who should be born.
You must have sinned in ways we knew nothing of. And now God is punishing you.
Perhaps you have sinned against God and have not confessed it. Oh, for heaven's sake, confess your sins now. Oh, that my grief and calamity were thoroughly weighed. Tell me my sins, then teach me wherein I have erred. How much must man suffer to see his home destroyed, his loved ones slaughtered, his flocks reduced to naught? How can one contend with God? One cannot even see him. He is strong. Let him finish me and my sorrow. Now my soul is weary of my life. I will speak in the bitterness of my soul. I will say unto God, do not condemn me. Show me why you put up with me. You know that I am not wicked. Your hands have made me and fashioned me.
A light from on high.
Job, stand like a man. While you have not condemned me, you have questioned my judgment. Now let the light of understanding so fill your being that you may know the limits of man's mind, and know in whom and in what to place your faith and trust.
It was as if God had taken me to heaven, and I could see the things of God.
Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth, when the morning stars sang together? Have you entered the springs of the sea, or have you walked in search of its depth? And who broke up the seas with bars and doors and said, this far shall you come, but no further? And have you any idea how large the earth really is? To satisfy the desolate and waste ground, to cause the bud of the tender herb to spring forth, who caused it to rain on the earth? Shall he that contends with the Almighty instruct him? How do you answer?
Complete is my faith in the living God whom I shall ever worship. I know now that you can do everything, and no thought can be withheld from you.
Your patience, your faith, and your sincerity make you a true man among men, and my worthy servant, Job.
Oh, praise God. Oh, all of Job's toils have disappeared.
We should have known God would reward his faith. Of course, with our Lord, nothing is impossible.
We are his creation, and he cares for us.
Let us thank God for showing us the way.
And that, children, is the true story of my life. Oh, of course, I haven't lived all of my life yet. I expect there will be many more years in which to fully enjoy all of God's blessings, for, in truth, he doubled everything I had, plus more wonderful children.
Oh, that's a wonderful story.
Oh, wow. It must be great to have so many brothers and sisters.
Children, I want you to meet our guests. Let's see now. Their names are Chris, Joy, and Gizmo. There's plenty of food, so all of you just help yourselves.
I'll do that.
Oh, no, you don't. Gizmo, you forget that a machine can't eat a drumstick, but I can.
Oh, sadness.
We hate to eat and run, but we really must be going.
Thanks for a wonderful time, Job.
You're welcome.
We hope you'll be back.
We'll try.
Bye.
Bye now.
After this, Job lived 140 years and saw his sons and his sons' sons, even 4 generations.
Chris, if we get married when we grow up, do you think we could have as large a family as the family Job has?
But do you think I'll have his patience?
Superbook. 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 Superbook.
This is Superbook with a special message just for you. Did you enjoy these adventures? Well, how would you like to join Chris, Joy, and Gizmo on all their exciting journeys back in time? You'll feel like you're part of the action. You'll see the big flood and join Noah and the animals on the ark. You'll watch the walls of Jericho come tumbling down as Joshua orders the trumpets to be sounded. You'll march through the wilderness with Moses and the children of Israel and stand up with brave little David as he battles the mighty Goliath. Be there as Jonah gets swallowed by a giant fish and discover the real meaning of Christmas and why Jesus came to earth. All this and more is waiting for you in my exciting Superbook videos. In my next volume, Chris, Joy, and Gizmo take you back in time to meet the great prophet Elijah. Be there as he challenges the followers of Baal and see the miracle that gave Elijah the victory. Then you'll meet another great prophet, Elisha, a man with twice the power of Elijah. Don't miss these two action-packed adventures on my next cassette, Superbook.